Hi everyone, my name is Ray Gauthier. Welcome to another edition of my Daily Walkabout, the audio podcast that I share as much as I can about what's on my mind. And I usually do this after a day of driving. This is my way of unwinding. Today I've been just sitting most of the day. I'm doing a reset out here in Monument, Colorado, not far from Colorado Springs, off the I-25. Nice little location. It's not I guess it is a truck stop in a way. There's a Phillips 66. There is truck parking. There's a McDonald's here. There's a Safeway. Everything you need is right here. Excuse me. Everything you need is right here. Nice little location. I told my dispatch I'm going to do a reset. That way I can do my reload wherever it is, probably in Nogales, and I'll have enough time to get home. And they said that was a great idea, so that's what I'm doing. So I had a chance to finish a video and get it uploaded. So I decided to take a walk. The title of this daily walkabout: Keeping the Faith When You're in the Desert. Keeping your faith when you're in the desert. Why am I talking about this? Because I have been in the desert for a long time. A very, very long time. Not weeks, not months, years. I literally went into this desert after a relationship breakup back in 2000, maybe it was 2015, 2000. Could have been the late 2015, maybe early 2016, I can't remember. It's been a while. The breakup was so devastating, it totally broke me. Before that, I just started driving 2012. I was on the road. I was doing really good. I was on fire for the Lord. I was excited to be a driver. I told myself I'm going to share the scenery with people out on the internet. That's where I came up with the concept. Life on the road with Yeshua. My life on the road with my Lord. And maybe about not even a year being on the road, making some decent money, I decided maybe it's time I started dating again, because prior to that, I raised 3 kids on my own, 17 years, single father. I wasn't interested in dating. I didn't want to bring any women by the house. I didn't want to confuse my kids. So I remained single. But when I got on the road, I felt now I can actually offer somebody something, even taking them out to dinner. I was finally making a decent living. And I went on a Christian dating site, met somebody who I had so much in common with. I mean, we liked the same food. We liked antiques. We loved history. I'm serious. we were a perfect match. Excuse me. Perfect match. The only problem, which I didn't know about, is that she was on medication, antidepressants. And those things mess with your feelings. And for 3.5 years, it was, I love you, I don't love you. It's I love you, oh, I do love you. Let's get married, let's look at rings. Oh, I don't think I should do this. This is what she was doing to me for 3.5 years. And you might say, well, why didn't you get out of it? I was in love with this girl. And for some reason, I swore that I felt that the Lord was telling me to be patient with her. And I did. And during the process, excuse me, I got hurt so bad that I don't think I've ever been hurt that much in my life. And the only way I was able to break free of that relationship is she ended it. We had a really nice weekend. We went out and did some things. And then I got a text message the following day telling me that she can't do it anymore. 2.5 or 3.5 years, we never even had so much as an argument. It's because she could not make up her mind what she wanted. Because those drugs she was on was messing with her emotions so much. It totally destroyed me. Ever since then, it's been a challenge. And you know something, I really wish I would have listened to the Lord. I kept thinking it was His will, but I should have known. If this was His will, there would have been happiness and there would have been joy in that relationship, not the amount of tears that I'd shed for that girl. It was clearly not God's will. But it's amazing how blind you can be when you are in love with somebody. So, I think it took me a good 6 months to be able to even function properly again, because that's how hurt I was. And I'll tell you, ever since then, I have never been able to get that back. That joy that I felt in my heart. Excited to be on the road. Excited to be a Christian. On fire for the Lord. And then shortly afterwards, 2 years later, somebody kills my daughter, murders her. A little girl that I raised, potty trained, who was with me day in and day out. And she was taken from me. How on earth does an individual just get up from that and go, I'm on fire? It's been literally almost 10 years that I've been walking in this desert. And I've been trying to find a way to get out of it by recommitting myself numerous times, thinking that there's something that I have done, something I've done wrong. I can't tell you how many times I recommitted myself. But you know, you don't, even though you're walking through the desert, you don't quite understand what the Lord is doing. You know He's doing something. Because even through all of this, I have continued to try to do what I feel I need to do. Sharing the gospel. Sharing the truth in the Bible. Reading out of the Bible. Sharing that on my videos. There's times where I'm thinking, where do I get this faith from? And I'm not trying to make myself look like a saint. That faith is given to me by God. It's a special thing. When you go through such tragedies in your life, and you're trying to find other things to make yourself happy, and none of it works. None of it. And there's other times you take a walk and you pray and you just say, is this prayer really going to make any difference? How many of you out there can relate to this? Where you're going through it's not a storm. There was a storm earlier. There was a storm during the breakup of that relationship. There was a storm when I found out somebody viciously killed my daughter at the age of 23. The storm is past. I'm still here. But now it's turned into a desert. And there's times I even ask myself, why am I here? What is the purpose of this? I don't feel like I'm really doing any good. 2012, I started YouTube videos, sharing my life experiences on the road as a Christian truck driver. Was getting some really good reviews and hits. Lately, the reviews, the hits, the views themselves have gone down so much, I'm ready to pack it in. There might be a handful of people that reach out to me to tell me how much they enjoy the videos. That's about the only thing that's keeping me going right now. I do not feel like I'm making any kind of a difference. And it's all a part of being in the desert. I spend time praying, and then there's other times I don't want to pray. And I'm being honest. There's times I do not want to pray. I feel like the prayers are falling on deaf ears. And some might say, well, what's the point of believing? It sounds like your God's abandoned you. No, I don't believe He's abandoned me, because if He did, I'd probably be dead right now. Or on some drugs, raging alcoholic. I have my sanity right now. I have my, a clear mind, an understanding mind, but confused, not knowing where any of this is going. But you know what? I'm not going to say, Lord, what's going on here? Like, you got to tell me what's going on. I don't feel like I have any right to be asking the Almighty, what's the deal? What are you doing? And you know what? I believe, because He's a loving Father, that you can reach out to Him and let some frustration out. I know He'll hear you, just like a father would when a child reaches out. But I remember when Job went through what he did, he went through so much, that man. Did God say in the Bible, anywhere in that book, it's okay, Job, I love you and I'm there for you? He didn't say much until the very end, when He told Job, where were you when I created the universe? Did you create the oceans? And on and on. What is Job's response at the very end? I don't have it in front of me, but I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say, well, that's pretty cold, Lord. Look what I've gone through. Lost my family. My friends have abandoned me. I've got boils all over me. That's not what Job said. He said, Lord, and I'm paraphrasing, once I knew you, or once I knew of you, now I know you. Or once I heard of you, now I know you. I apologize, I'm butchering this. But you get the point. Job more or less said, I knew of you, Lord, but now I really know you. And he repented. He repented because he complained. Because you don't question the Almighty. And I'm in no position to do that either. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining in the slightest. I'm sharing with you. If you're going through a difficult time and you're walking in the desert right now, I'm sharing with you a testimony from me to stay strong. Don't give up. Don't turn to substance. There's nothing wrong with showing some frustration. I have no idea when my desert is going to reach the water. I don't know when this is going to end. This could go on and on and on. I have no idea. But we have to keep our faith. There are days that I go about my business and I feel so alone and so empty. And I have one dear friend out on the road who I talk to quite a bit. She's an amazing woman of God. And I don't think she would mind if I said who she was. Her name's Susan. She takes the time to hear me. You know, it's nice. It's nice to be able to share what I'm sharing with you with another person and knowing that they're praying for you. And she's gone through a lot too. She can relate. I'm sure she's all too familiar of what it's like to be walking through the desert. And you know, she encouraged me to take a little bit more interest in the feasts, which I would like to do. maybe on my times when I'm at home on a reset, or if I'm down for a few days, just to grab myself a little 1 or 2 man tent and just find a nice place to stay by myself with my Bible and just have a little retreat by myself and just spend that time alone with the Lord. And you might think, well, aren't you doing that on the road? No, because you're still surrounded by work. You could get a phone call at any time. You're on the highway, your mind is on your job. At the end of your day, it'd be nice to go into your sleeper, or call it your little prayer closet, and do your retreat. It's not the same thing, because you're tired. At the end of a day, drive 11 straight hours in the US, 13 hours in Canada, and see how much energy you have to open up a Bible and read it or pray. You're drained, you're mentally drained. It's not the same thing. So instead of giving up, wondering what's going on, why am I in this desert? I'm going to try to add a few ideas to my free time. Like going on a sabbatical, even if it's for 2 days, even if it's for 24 hours, spending that time alone with the Lord in prayer. I really believe He'll give me that charge that I need, that boost. Maybe He's waiting for the right moment. Time means nothing to the Lord. It means so much to us, doesn't it? We want everything now. Look at the society we live in. It is so self-centered. It is so selfish. We need to have everything now. And I'm guilty of that too. But you know what? If I even think that spending time alone with the Lord on a little retreat, just me and Him, my Bible, in prayer, just Him, phone turned off. It's worth the wait. It's absolutely worth the wait. So let me encourage you. Again, if you're in your desert, stay strong. No one said this was going to be easy. Oh my gosh, it's not easy at all. Being a Christian isn't all about, being excited every day and everything's going wonderful and nothing's going wrong. If you live that kind of a life and you're a believer and nothing ever goes wrong, I'd probably reevaluate what you're doing, because you might be worshiping the wrong Jesus. Because there's a lot of prosperity churches out there that worship a different Jesus. The prosperity Jesus. And if you're involved with that, you might want to get away. Remember what Yeshua said. Take up your cross and follow me. He didn't say, grab your bank card and your Lamborghini and follow me. He said, pick up your cross. Take your cross and follow me. What was He trying to say? This is not going to be easy. There's going to be a penalty to pay when you follow me. But the rewards later are amazing. Stay strong. You might be in your desert a long time. I've been in my desert for years. I can't wait to get out. I really can't. But you know what? I'll tell you one thing. Being in this desert keeps you humble. It really does. Maybe that's why I'm in this desert so long. It keeps me humble. I don't like it. I'd love to be involved with a church where the fellowship and the jumping up and down and everyone's happy and singing and praising God and everyone's so excited they're crying. Is that real? Or is that an act? A relationship with the Lord isn't all about feelings and emotions. It's about relationship, obedience, love. And I'll tell you, even though everything that I've been through, the loss of a relationship that almost killed me, the loss of my daughter, the loneliness, the walking in the desert, I still love my God. I still love my Lord. Yeshua died on that cross for me, and I will remain faithful to him. And I will not question the Father in heaven. I will not question Yahweh, what he's doing, because he is wiser than anyone could possibly imagine. Imagine combining all of the smartest people on this planet, all the wisdom of all of these people on the planet, with the IQs of 180 or whatever the highest IQ is, combining all these brains, these smart people, doesn't even touch a cell. Doesn't even touch. It's like one blade of grass on 400 football fields compared to the wisdom that Yahweh has. And I won't even try to understand what he's doing. I will trust him. No matter what, no matter how much I stumble, no matter how much I fall, how much it hurts, I will continue to trust him. We must keep our faith when we're in the desert. It's only going to last so long. And even if I'm in this desert for the rest of my life, I know one day I'll be out of it when I'm in his presence. I hope you will too. Stay strong. Keep your faith. And maybe decide to break away from your everyday life and spend a little time alone with the Lord. I'm planning to go to a place and get a little two-man tent. And when my truck is getting its inspection this month and windshield replaced and whatever, I'm taking off for a couple days, and I'm not really going to tell anybody what I'm doing. And I'm going to spend that time alone. And I really hope to hear from God. If I don't hear from him, I don't. So what? Maybe I will get some peace that I really need. I encourage you to do that as well. Friends, it's been a pleasure. I hope this was helpful for somebody. God bless you in the name of Yeshua. Be sure to subscribe to Truth and Testimony, the broadcast, the YouTube channel, Podbean, or wherever you're hearing this on. There's a lot of different podcast outlets out there that provide this podcast, this specific one. Whatever one you're listening on, I encourage you to subscribe. And feel free to reach out if you like. Email, or should I say it's Truth and Testimony email. It's a long one. Maybe we should create a shorter one, but Truth and Testimony email at gmail.com. Truth and Testimony email at gmail.com. I will respond. Bless you all in the name of Yeshua. Bye for now.